Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Midday Update. I'm Laz, bringing it back into the studio here. I've been doing most of the Midday Updates from my trading station, but I figured I'd mix it up and do it right here in-house. Let's go and talk about the market, because what we saw last week was expansion. What we're seeing this week has been more or less contraction. And at the end of last week, you know, I mentioned that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably primed for a pullback in the market. Again, you don't want to chase highs, and that's exactly what the market did on Friday. We had that great enthusiastic move, and now we are pulling back. Let's take a look here. Let's jump over to the S&Ps. You can look at the spiders here. They have this nice, two-day rally post-Fed, tailing down off of that 148 in the SPYs, and a very controlled pullback, which is kind of what I think most of us had anticipated. After we saw this little bit of this topping tail. So, the market's been very tight yesterday and today, the general indexes. The S&Ps, sort of just a slow bleed down. Even if you look at a smaller time frame, here's a 13-minute chart. This is basically that 148 high, and it's been just this slow, monotonous trade down. Now, this supports the bullish argument. Again, I think when the 8 period, which is this blue line here, does its job and catches up, that's really where the interesting trade potentially could occur. Do I think we could draw down a little further in the S&Ps? I do. We'll see, how this kind of plays itself out, but these 3-day pullbacks have been very, very buyable for the bulls for trades. And we'll see how this, pans out, maybe another day or so. Like I said, timing is very, very important here, and generally these moving averages, when they catch into the stock, that's generally when you'll see the move occur. You see here, on this 2-day move, it happened really right at the 8-period EMA. So we're going to watch that as it develops, possibly, today into more likely tomorrow or the day after even. So be patient here, as this is a very bullish structure so far, very controlled pullback. You hear me talk about that in the Active Trader program all the time. Let's move over to obviously where all the eyeballs are. This is Apple. And Apple had a nice breakout above the 680 level. That was the, these highs up here. But really no intraday trade has happened. We've seen a couple of gap ups. Even today, notice the candlesticks. Instead of being, big and green and big volume, you're seeing the intraday action kind of languish. And I said yesterday in the midday update that this is just a tired long. This is a stock to me that looks like it just needs to rest, build a base for a couple of days, maybe even a week or two, let these averages catch up, and you could see some more upside there. So not much to do here, and I wouldn't suggest it as a long here, just kind of hovering 700. Flirted with it this morning. You can see we popped into about 701, but quickly back, and there's just not much in terms of commitment here. So for those that are day trading, it's been a great day trade for the most part. But, yesterday we saw a little bit of a rollover, retested low a day, and, made new highs again this morning. But you're not getting that follow through, heavy volume trade that I think most are looking for. So just be aware that the stock, just to me, again, it's not a short, it's just a little bit more of a tired long, a stock that could use a little bit of a rest, a couple of days, a pullback, what have you. Another stock that, has performed nothing short of spectacular is Google. Every pullback has been bought, and again, new highs this morning. The stock sitting here around 715, and definitely on the watch list here, as a lot of traders saw the breakout this morning above about 713, 712 area, getting above there early this morning and still holding. We'll see what that one brings in terms of an afternoon follow through. I believe through high a day probably will get that next leg higher if it were to come. That's around 717 right here. So keep an eye on that for follow through. But the real story over the last couple of sessions, in my opinion, has been biotechs and some pharmaceutical companies. And we'll take a look. ONXX, again, I'm just going to pop through a few charts here. ONXX still continues to look good. Follow through today to yesterday's breakout. I'll show you the breakout here. Broke above that $80 mark, plus or minus. And we're getting good follow through today on that long trade. So good setup there. And this one to me looks like it could potentially trade even a little bit higher, as it looks like it's got that breakaway type of feel to it. Gilead. Again, notice the trend here as I sort of cycle through some of these symbols. Again, I wouldn't chase. You don't want to be a buyer up here, but these are stocks that have just performed fantastic over the last few weeks. Jazz, J-A-Z-Z, big one-day wonder, but actually getting some follow-through today, which I didn't quite anticipate after such a large move yesterday. But Jazz, another one. Celgene, new highs again. So just really nice looking sector. And if you're not really focusing on biotechs, there's been a lot of money flow there over the last couple of weeks. Again, you don't want to chase, like I said, to start the segment, you don't want to buy, at new highs, or you don't want to chase highs, but wait for those controlled pullbacks. And when they do, when they do come and you're a believer and it's the right setup, that's where you're going to make most of your money as a trader. You like the strength, buy the pullback. You like the weakness, short the bounce. Just on that note, a couple of notable looking weaker stocks, Netflix, one of them. A little bit of a pop here, but being sold off again at the averages. Just really no buyers in Netflix whatsoever. Monster Beverage, another one that looks, ominously weak here in a very strong market environment. Baidu, just a couple notable weaker ones. Again, Baidu saw a one-day pop a few days ago, but already under that low. So looks like that was just a short-term bounce. Looks like it's being sold again. So Baidu, and this is one that's had noticeable relative weakness in a market that's had tremendous strength. So keep your eye on a couple of those if you're looking for trades the other way. Biotechs on the long side, again, the Apples and the Googles of the world continue to remain very strong, and some of the other ones, on the flip side of the coin, where you have a couple of weaker symbols. That really about sums it up. Very quiet session. I'll go back to that S&P real quick. The intraday range, you can see how small it is. There's just not much, in terms of opportunity for those that are more intraday and momentum oriented. But this is setting up nicely, or has the nice, potential for another, leg of buying at some point, maybe, like I said, in a couple of days. Goldman Sachs, another notable, very controlled pullback here off of that pivot high from last week. So keep your eye on a few of these names. These pullbacks have been buyable, and as it stands right now, continue to look that way. Although I do think it may be just a touch premature to start rebuying a lot of these things. But keep your eye on, build that watch list, and the better your watch list, the more opportunity will present itself in the days ahead. As always, a planned trader is a profitable trader. I'm Laz. Take care.
Hi, I'm Sean Hendelman of T3 Live, where we train, coach, and mentor traders in order to help you put your money to work with confidence. The T3 Live approach is a blueprint for you to recognize, adapt, and ultimately take advantage of different market conditions. To begin your training with T3 Live, we would like to offer you the opportunity to enroll in our free 30-day online home study course. Fill in your name and email address, and I'll see you on the other side.